they said that their main goal here was not to lose to an APAC team. This is the one in their group. This is the match that they are trying to win the most, so let's see if they can get the job done, as they need to try and do it, as the analyst desk was talking about, inside of regulation. But so do the Chiefs, and they've had some promising games as well, so we still could have ourselves quite the match here.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we've got to look at the Chiefs yesterday. They had a good game against Rogue. It was a tough loss for them, but then they got beaten up by FaZe. There's no other way to put it. And I think a couple of the players, I saw them on socials, they were like, well, if you haven't been rolled by FaZe at a LAN, have you really been to the LAN? And the FaZe team this time around is looking extremely strong. 14-0 yesterday, so we can't hold that against the Chiefs. They certainly weren't the only ones to suffer that fate against FaZe. They're going to be coming in here against Oxygen, and I'm sure they're going to be seeing this as an opportunity, Blue, to really show us exactly what they can do. They're going to be looking to deliver a big win here. Thatcher, Hibana, Mirror are our operator bans so far. We'll have one more going, and on Clubhouse, it wouldn't surprise me to maybe see a Kaid ban, given that the Hibana's gone. That wouldn't be too much of a shock. Might be difficult hatch play if not.
Still going to see Maverick left in play, though, so ultimately he has a way to immediately negate their way through. Let's see what the choice is going to be, and yeah, Valkyrie is going to be knocked out instead here by the Chiefs. Once again, her usefulness still too universal until that change in the outside cameras comes in, and even then we'll probably still see her
still be there, boy.
Still maintain her position on the ban spot there, probably fairly often, might drop by like 10 to 20%, but overall still is going to remain there quite often, as here at the pro level we see her effectiveness used much more often for cameras on the inside. Getting through, however, to the first round here, it's going to be starting things off with the CCTV and cash hold coming out from the Chiefs, and as well we're going to see quite the accompaniment of operators to be able to hold control of that, both Cade and Mute being brought here to try and deny the walls, and of course the drone presence on the inside of the site.
This is what I love about the majors. You've got the APAC South team coming up against the North American team. It's regions that just, you know, they can be a bit like oil and water sometimes. They just do not mix. Different styles come together. You have different preferences in terms of sites. You'll see some regions that will pick up Church and Arsenal on Clubhouse, for example, will, you know, almost always be the primary site. In other areas, we have a lot of preference towards CCTV cache. We're even seeing a little bit of a shift recently over towards gym and bedroom in EU. We've seen a little bit of popularity for that site as well. But here and now, in this game, Oxygen versus Chiefs, Chiefs are going to start us off on the defense, and it will be the CCTV site. So you're asking me, Ace, what am I going to see here? What are the attackers going to be bringing? What are they going to be trying? What are they going to be doing? Oxygen are more than likely going to want to try and get control over Garage, as you're looking at it now. And Chiefs, they will play somebody on that catwalk to try and prevent that happening. They've reinforced the lower Garage, which tells me they are going to try and keep hold of it. They've got two ADSs there, just trying to deal with that throwable utility. At the same time as doing that, Oxygen, they're going to try and get that east wall opened up, which is the top right of your screen. Thank you very much, John. Beautiful observer. They're going to try and get that wall opened up, because once they've got that, they can stop the defenders rotating from right to left, from cash room into CCTV. If they get that Garage control, they can also pin them back, and they can get the diffuser down next to that B-bomb. Nice safe spot in there, and that is going to be the game for Oxygen. Occasionally, we will see them splinter off and try and push from bedroom through construction as well. I'm not sure that that will be the play for Oxygen here, given their sort of limited capacity and not having Foxy here with them.
Things are going to start out well, however, for Oxygen specifically, as they catch God Legion trying to get aggressive here. Back over on the Jacuzzi balcony, an easy finisher for Yogg, as there's no support in the area for God Legion, as he's off on an island back over towards Gym. Nearest player would have been Fisho Guy, but he's way back towards construction, and at this point, it would have been too big of a risk to come in and assist him. Hopes is here to assist today. He's working things out on the Maverick, supporting to try and get the balcony open, so they'll have site balcony, that is, in order to get access for themselves. It has been Swiss cheese a little bit, if you didn't notice it, towards the bottom side. So Hopes might take a couple of extra seconds to get this done. Important to note as well that this is still a very dangerous task, and he needs to be careful about how he goes about it. The job is done, though. The hatch is going to be open, or the wall is going to be open, and that'll be a path forward for OXG. Now they need to work on Garage, as you were talking about before, which so far, they might have been able to get one or two Selmas going, but nope, those have been denied for the most part, or not used as of yet. So still going to see those held off, and in fact, construction is going to be the main avenue forward, it seems, for OXG, since they were able to get control of the gym side so easily.
Just going to be using that zero cam to try and get as much information as possible, as the push really is coming in strongly through the construction side. Not really playing this sort of 2 default on that eastern side, looking instead to pressure here. They've got that open, they've got a token force with Kino just trying to hold that down, gets his opportunity for the man on catwalk but can't find it, but it doesn't matter. Hopes comes in, he gets the kill onto Ethan, and right now Oxygen are starting to build some good control, but how about that aggressive play from Fisher Guy? Steps out and gets Hope on the Maverick, so that is going to make it a struggle now to open that construction wall fully.
Great trades coming back in there for the Chiefs here. Another one looking to be found, but Digital falls to Kino instead. Kino, who had a struggle in the initial game against FaZe, is bouncing back big time in their second game they played yesterday. He's looking to do the same, but look at this flank from Worthy as well. Denies the plant, takes down a second one as he rips the head off of Yogg. Kino's the only one left here now, and he's got to be the real hero on the outset of this game if he wants to put Oxygen in a leading position. Single sliver of HP is all that remains. It's going to be about 5 overall. It's 1 bullet he can take the damage from. We'll see the lifeline deployed here. That gives Kino the real estate he needs to possibly get this plant down on the ground. Worthy's had to fall back, but here comes Worthy once again, looking to deny this. The plant goes down, Kino's up, but he's not ready for the battle, and Worthy clutches out the first round for the Chiefs.
How about that then? Oxygen doing a lot of the job, getting in there, getting that diffuser down, and really pushing the Chiefs. I think it was 3v1 at one point there. They were really on top of things, and yet the Chiefs managed to stand up, and they show that they are here to play. I love this aggression from Fisher Guy there, stepping out, and that is always the danger for a Maverick. When you're opening up those holes, a good friend of ours, Emzo, he said it best, they work both ways. They always do, and they've just seen that there. They step out, get that aggression, but a quad kill on the round, and Worthy, proving that he is worthy to be here, worthy to get those clutches and close out the round. Chiefs, 1-0.
Oxygen definitely putting a right foot forward when it comes to their overall execute there. No problems whatsoever, forcing the issue into the site from construction. It's unfortunately, again, flank overwatch that fails them at the end of that round there with a great clutch coming in from a member of Chiefs and a quad kill overall on the round coming out from Worthy. The big hero play from him, and those last 3 kills, I believe, were inside of a 1vx as well. So beautifully played to bring that round back. A quick fix for OXG, however, again, just going to have to slow things down a little bit, make sure that flank watch is being covered more proficiently in future rounds here. Not something that they can very easily course correct towards. For the Chiefs, though, they've locked that site down upstairs. They're not going to go for the immediate try back over in gym and bedroom. Instead, they're going to go to the expected second site downstairs here in the basement.
Yeah, you know, I don't mind this. Keeping it simple. They want to get this win. They want those 3 points on the board. They picked up 1 yesterday against Rogue, but, you know, now's the time to really take that opportunity, get themselves up onto 4 points. You can see there, you know, they'll be sat in third. Top right of your screen shows live how those standings will update. So it just keeps them in the mix, in that sort of mid-table, second, third area, and you're going to be looking to continue fighting for that second place spot, which is ultimately what they're going to be wanting. So Chiefs just looking to get themselves a nice buffer here. Let's go to another solid site. Let's get down there and lock it down. Oxygen, they're going to start with the top floor clearance. Not too much of a surprise here. They want to work all the way down. Chiefs don't actually have anybody out on the roam that I can see at the moment. I'm pretty sure that all 5 are down inside a site. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's somebody. There we go. 5th is on blue stairs. God Legion, as I thought. So nobody out on the roam really to hassle Oxygen. They need to be aware of God Legion on the Jaeger because he is in a position where he could move on to the flank and hurt them. But once Oxygen have got those top 2 floors secured, they're going to want to do that quite quickly because they don't want to burn too much time here. They've got hatches to open. They've potentially got walls to try and open if they want to get down main stairs, maybe an open church wall up. Although we've seen much more of a sort of lean towards the kitchen drop and trying to get the plant down in armory. We'll see where Oxygen wind up for their final execute.
Yeah, once again here, the Chiefs taking their time with things. God Legion, the only one trying to weigh any sort of aggression out. He very quickly cooled that off as well, moving himself back. A little bit of an info bleed coming out there against Oxygen's favors. That default inside of bar is left up for an extended period of time, so Chiefs is able to see what exactly the push is looking like right now, but not really any actionable intel, unfortunately, due to the more passive setup the Chiefs are currently working with. They're kind of just sitting back, waiting for OXG to make the first bout of aggression to move downstairs. Official Guy notices these top-down angles being opened up, so we'll remove the deployable shield over towards the doorway here to try and open that up. Great work with the nade there from Vertical. Actually does catch the electrical claw, so now they've got the capability to open things up. Attempts to impact Trick so far unsuccessful, as this first Selma's going to go off without a hitch. The second one being used, but now a Nitro comes in, but it's exchanged just as quickly. Ethan actually down first there, but finished off post-mortem to the member of OXG's death. As that brings us down to a 4v4. Now OXG had that hatch open, and still a lot of access time as well. So OXG doing very good in terms of working their way down the checklist to get towards an execute here.
That's it, plenty of time. Quite often on this site, you'll see the heavy roam game played on top floor, mid floor, and you'll have teams coming to build this final execute with 40 seconds left, 30 seconds left, with an awful lot of work to do. Oxygen are quite far ahead of that curve. They've got the vertical angles, they're starting to gain that access, they've got the hatches open, so there's plenty of time for them to work with here. They don't need to panic at the fact that they've lost a man, they just need to start trying to work and create a little bit of space. And Kino down in blue, this could be a big play from them, but were they? He manages to shut down Yoga. God Legion gets Kino. That is this attack broken in half, blue.
As we see OXG trying to force their way forward. Laxing has the main hall control, and he gets the entry onto Worthy as well. Quickly gonna fall back though, because unfortunately it's a massive choke point to carry forward from that point forward. Goes back in, works his way in. We're gonna see Digital still holding though, and ultimately this goes down to a 3v1. Hopes stand in, trying to clutch this one out, but the case, it was left upstairs, so the time is going to run out. And Chiefs will be the victor of this round yet again.
I think their Oxygen just getting caught up in that time problem. There was 2 big kills came in. I commented how much time Oxygen had, and just after that, about 10 seconds, Kino gets shut down in blue, and it left them in a 2 versus 4, and the clock is ticking the whole time at that point. And at that stage, it becomes very, very difficult. 10 seconds left, diffuser down on the ground, you're dropping into sight, you're just trying to find kills. And Hopes, he's the last man alive, he does everything he can, he heads in towards that default spot, but there's nothing that he can do without the diffuser in hand, and it's going to be another good round from Chiefs there. To say that they played that as a complete total defense, they gave Oxygen 3 minutes of map control. They just basically gave them the top 2 floors of the map. No problem whatsoever. They were able to close it out like what I see from them. Very solid.
And realistically, even if Hopes did have the case there, probably wasn't going to be able to get it.
In a 1v2.
He was at a null timer right there in a 1v2 with opponents very, very close by. So wouldn't have made much of a difference ultimately at the end of the day there inside of that clutch scenario. Although tried his best, but not going to be enough in this situation. The Chiefs will continue to rotate back around. Now they're going to work their way, I believe, into bar for this hold here on the 3rd floor. And indeed, that will be the case as they work themselves into it. This is not a site that is played very often inside of North America at all, but from what I can remember here, OXG is actually one of the more comfortable teams on this site, so I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue for them as it might be for some of the other teams from the region.
So we've seen this a little bit in EUL. We've had a couple of teams, Na'Vi particularly, had a very nice defense in the first couple of weeks of this. What you're likely to see is, or what I would expect to see, is a lot of attention being paid to that top floor. Chiefs want to hold on as much as possible. A lot of the default plant spots can be held down either from above or below. You can have somebody in basement who hits a nitro through hatch. We saw Doki do that. So it is possible to defend a lot of the sort of west side default spots, if you will. So what tends to happen from the attackers is they want to get themselves established in stock, they want to burst through the wall onto stage, and they want to get the diffuser down there tight on stage. Now then, the top floor clearance not starting out well for Oxygen as God Legion finds Kino, and as long as Chiefs can hold on to that top floor, the only spot they realistically need to worry about is that corner by the speakers on stage.
OXG does have control of the garage, which gives them slight sight lines on the parts of the site, but it's not the parts where Chiefs are amassing the large majority of their player base, which is something that OXG is soon going to realize as their drones are piercing the veil here. Maverick as well, still played by Hopes, trying to work his way through the jacuzzi balcony, and Fisho Guy has moved in to investigate to see if he can potentially grab Hopes. He's already been caught once due to that play. The good news is, as you guys can see there now, there's a drone positioned on the inside with full intel onto Fisho Guy. Still though, nearly able to catch some shots off onto Laxing, but not going to ring true this time. However, they will know where Laxing has gone, as he'll now be holding control over this window, watching for that potential flank from the inside of security.
Absolutely, that needs to hold that down, and for the time being, Oxygen still need to concern themselves with that top floor as well. Digital, he's an important player in here. He needs to keep himself just tucked away because he's the one who can challenge onto that plant spot. He's going to be looking to try and just peek out if they do try and get that diffuser down. So the Kaid needs to just be careful with himself there and keep himself active in the round. Now, Laxing looking to move in from the west side and apply a little pressure. Digital, I think he knows that he's there, Blue. He's looking to move through and make a challenge here.
Laxing seems to have some inclination as well.
Certainly does. They can certainly hear each other. Laxing move through. He's going to win this. He sees him first, and there you go. A nice kill from Laxing. And that's an important one because it takes the man out of sight for Chiefs, and there could be an opportunity if Oxygen keep building from this stock side.
Evens out the man count now as well, so OXG should have a little bit more confidence to try and go for a more direct execute. Won't be so timid to try and move themselves forward due to the penalties that would normally apply in a 4v5 of losing that initial gun duel on the execute. OXG seems to be ready to go here, and with about 35 seconds left, I can understand the additional caution as well, wanting to execute this early on. This is a site, like I said, that is not played fairly often in North America, so something sprung upon them that they're not going to be entirely ready for. They have maybe that second run to make a go for it. However, it seemed like they were ready, didn't actually move in though, so it's only going to be just now. It's sub 20 seconds, and they try to make a move for this one. Chiefs are very much ready for the challenge. Laxing will be moving in. He has a good cutoff here. He's going to need to get aggressive, but Official Guy has no idea. He's weighed the aggression out here towards the main stairs from the bathroom. Ethan with a great cutoff though, denies the plant. Still from the inside of Stock, will get traded from Vertical. They can't get to the case in time though. Someone tries to get it, but he goes down as well. And that's the end of the round as Chiefs clutch it out again.
Chiefs really leaving that one down to the wire. I want to just give a shout to Laxing there for his play from the west side. I know that they didn't win the round, but it was super important because what Laxing did was take out the two players, or two of the main players who were in place to try and prevent that plan. He took out the Kaid first of all with that win against Digital, and then coming onto main stairs, we saw that Fisher Guy actually had an angle from main stairs, opened up through the soft wall onto stage, and he was the sort of secondary cover for that area. So Laxing coming in and killing him really enabled Oxygen to get in and get that plant down. The big problem for them there was that they didn't pick up on Ethan on the vigil underneath, and it was a well-timed flank from him to come in and shut that attempt down. So very well played from the vigil there. Beautifully worked, and I mean, if any operator is going to keep himself off the radar like that, it's going to be Vigil, and they've certainly paid the price on that one.
So Chiefs complete their first run through the sites here. They're now going to repeat that, just skipping Jim entirely now for the time being. They've re-unlocked play after the first two rounds have completed. CCTV as well as Cash, and they're going to sit inside of this one to make another run at it fairly heftily into their, actually did not go fairly heftily into their favor, had to rely on a clutch from Worthy in order to get the job done here, so it's going to be interesting to see if we'll have just as close of a round, or if Chiefs locked onto the strategy of OXG now, they're going to line up a proper defense, trying to put more emphasis on that security hold, while still maintaining the additional pressure in Garage that we saw before. The Cade is still here as well, along with the Mute to try and block off access to all those points.
Now I'm hearing a lot of noise, Blue. I'm hearing a lot of noise over from our B-Stream team. Of course, we've got FaZe versus Rogue going on the other side, which is the other half of this group, and I'm sure that that is going to be a bit of a thriller, I would have thought, certainly from what I'm hearing from Hap anyway.
FaZe is going, assuming FaZe won the first round, I'm pretty sure they hold the record for like the most dominant run in a team at the start of a tournament. Believe it or not, I got a good sound on Reddit. I cannot remember who the original poster was. I would like to give credit, but I'll try to bring that up at some point later. There actually was another team that started a tournament off 14-0. It's a little bit of a fluke, as it was Space Station against Mini Golf Guta at DreamHack Winter 2018, which for those who don't remember was apparently a stack of CS players that were there at DreamHack and just wanted to try a Siege tournament. So yeah, not like the best step, but it was still in a pro tournament, so it does to some extent count. But yeah, in terms of Tier 1 competition, FaZe is the only one that's been able to pull that off, and they're looking to go potentially 21-0 if they could take down Rogue without dropping around. This game, however, as we go back towards it, Worthy starts us off well again on a CCTV and cash hold by eliminating Hopes. Was he able to get open the balcony before going down? That's the big question here, and it's not looking like it. No, the process only halfway done, so that's going to be potentially no access in through that avenue here for Oxygen throughout the rest of the round.
Hopes has really been beaten up on that Maverick so far today, whilst he's been trying to go about his business and get those reinforcements cleared off, and as you say, going to make things slightly more difficult for Oxygen. It's the time to scramble here. They're going to have to go to plan B, maybe even through to plan C, because it's not going to be easy. They're trying to work underneath to clear off some of that electrification, some of that denial, so that Yoga can try and get this construction to cash wall open. They are not going to find the electrical just yet. Kino is underneath. Blue, it's on on the wall on the other side. They're not going to be able to get it from Kino's position. It's round the other side of that brick wall that you just saw. And very importantly, there's a challenge coming in from lower garage onto him. This is beautiful play from Chiefs. Taking the Maverick out is almost certainly at this point going to keep that cash wall safe as well.
OXG as well, no additional angles to work their way in. No safe harbor to even push construction at this point either due to the elimination of their other hard breaches. Worthy now snipes out Kino, removes most of the aggression that this team had remaining in terms of utility as Ash is now gone as well. Yes, the ace is still in it, but okay, never mind. I spoke too soon. Yaga falls as well. It's just OXG looking to try and get lucky with some picks here to maybe allow them into the site, but it absolutely will not happen as God Legion picks up the last kill and the Chiefs find a flawless here for their 4th in a row. Surely a pause has to be coming in from OXG sometime soon.
You really would have thought so. I mean, it was a good round from Chiefs. I really like the positioning of those electricals that we're getting now. Teams just get so creative with them, trying to move them away. You never really see them applied directly to the wall anymore. They'll be underneath a floor, they'll be round the corner on a wall, they'll be underneath some sort of shelving or something, and you love to see it. And I'm not saying it's won the round for Chiefs there, but it's gone a long way because it's really prevented access to site for Oxygen, and you've seen what happens there. If you can keep those reinforcements in place as a defender, and this is something to learn, take it away, do it in your ranked games. If you can keep those walls closed, you funnel teams through single doors, and look what happens. It really limits the area that you need to aim, it limits where the challenges are going to come from. You can just focus all guns on that location, and you will win rounds just like the Chiefs did.
The things continuing to look good here for the Chiefs as they carry on forward through their defensive half. For our newer Siege viewers at home, it should be noted that, yes, this map generally does trend quite heavily towards our defenders, but we're starting to get to a point where we push that a bit further than the usual expectation here as Chiefs leading at minimum 4-2, looking for a 5th round here. And this is another site they held great control of also. OXG, however, a great job when this site was last attacked in terms of getting the hatches open, getting access points available. It was when they moved in for the execute where the entries failed and things started to fall apart, unfortunately never to be recovered despite it being close.
Very similar setup here from Chiefs, largely all based down on site. I think they might have one that I've just seen slip out onto the roam. It's God Legion who's on the top of blue stairs again. Didn't have too much of an impact last time around. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5 all accounted for downstairs. I think it was just a little bit of movement from God Legion as he got himself back and established on those blue stairs. Now look at this hot droning going on. They know he's there. Vertical's going in for the kill. He manages to just scurry away in time and gets the kill. Turns around, hits Vertical with the turn and burn blue and finds that opener for Chiefs again, and things are going from bad to worse for Oxygen.
Full intel onto him. That's going to be Vertical going down as well, who has been struggling inside of this game. Not the only one from OXG who's been having these problems, however. It is only the Ash, so again, not a huge loss in the utility department. We'll see how much it affects them later on when they get closer to the site. They still have the Zofia, so in terms of range soft breach, they still potentially have some capability to use that, but could be losing it soon, as this is where Kino struggled on the last attempt also, is getting this blue control and taking out the player holding it. God Legion is still here, is going to maintain this position now that they got the initial pick as well, as I believe God Legion also has additional support from another angle here, so he's going to remain relatively safe for the foreseeable future. And yeah, you can see that Ethan does have a rotate to come in here and help him out, at least from the oil pit direction if necessary.
The thing about attacking this site is it's often about focus. What you want to do is try and draw the focus of the defenders in as many directions as possible, because otherwise what happens is you get 5 defenders all aiming in one location, either towards main stairs or towards kitchen hatch. Towards kitchen hatch, it's going to be as Digital finds a nitro, gets shut down by Laxing, leaving us in a 4 versus 3. But to continue what I was saying there, you want to try and pull them in different directions, and that's why blue is so important, because what it does is it spins the defenders on their heels, it divides them as a team. Some have to watch blue because they know that you're present there, and some have to watch main stairs. Whilst God Legion is safely established in blue and can say there's nobody here, everybody else can focus towards kitchen hatch. So it really does help Chiefs to lock this defense down.
See Laxing continuing to find the large majority of the impact for OXG here as he finds yet another entry back down from the main stairs position, getting a moto access as well. He'll try to push himself forward onto the site with this, but he still has to be careful of blue presence because that's where God Legion was playing at before. And I don't believe they have confirmed intel that he's rotated out of here. In fact, he still has not, as he's going to be able to take down another drone since another member of OXG is also trying to push in from Oil Pit. That'll get blocked off by Fisho Guy, but he nearly loses himself in the process. We can see Hope's trying to move in now to assist with this. Laxing as well as Yaga both pick up kills here. It's a massive round from Laxing, and Yaga seals the deal with a double of his own. Finally, OXG are on the board after this basement attack.
Laxing just absolutely brute forcing that round, just saying, you know what, if kills are what we need, then kills are what I'm gonna get. He just goes down and everybody he sees, bang, 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 he puts them in the dirt, and it was really great from Laxing to open up that round. And what I like was that late attention in blue corridor. As I was saying, that is one of the key areas, and as soon as Yaga is pushing there, God Legion gets spun on his heel, and all of a sudden you start to see this chaos falling into the defense of Chiefs. They start panicking. We're being pushed from blue. We're being pushed from main. There's one on kitchen hatch. We've got to keep moving now. We've got to keep turning. And then that's when the attackers can take advantage of that. Kill, 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 kill. And they get the win on the round. Well played from Oxygen. Important that they keep those multifaceted attacks going. Don't, you know, by contrast, I want to come back to that round that they didn't get the construction wall open into Cash on the top floor. It was very one-dimensional because they didn't get the reinforcements taken off. It was all through one door. Super easy for Chiefs. There, you've got pressure from kitchen, you've got pressure from main, you've got pressure from blue, multiple areas, and all of a sudden, you get a round on the board. Let's keep it going, Oxygen.
We can even draw an example from the last time that we saw the OXG members attack that very same site as well. Blue presence was denied entirely, so really all you had for the push on the first attempt there was Laxing moving in from the main stairs. And while, yeah, he found success, no one else did, and it led to that situation where you were talking about, where everybody on the Chiefs could just turn tail, focus on Laxing, and very easily take him out in the final moments of that run. It's going to be the same defense coming in for the Chiefs here on the onset of the final round of the half. They'll look to try and quickly rebound here to still take an incredibly solid 5-1 scoreline if they can be successful on this basement hold.
This is it, you know, you create a little bit of chaos, and a player like Laxing, he's going to lap it up. He's just going to go in there and absolutely devour those defenders like he has done. Hopefully, we'll see more of the same from Oxygen. They're going in very confidently here, Blue. Hopes needs to be careful because there is a man at the top of main stairs. He could find himself being challenged here. I don't know if the drones have picked him up. Oxygen seem to be very thorough there. Yogga's got a drone just going in ahead of him. Laxing is doing some work on the information game as well. Gets caught out in a mute jammer. So Chiefs just trying to create that space, but that is the important yellow ping. It's going to force Worthy back down to site, and it allows Hopes to move in. He makes a sort of a soft challenge towards main stairs. He doesn't want to get in too aggressively, and I think that's right. Don't be throwing your life away here, Hopes. You're very important. You're on the Maverick. You need to get the hatches. But Oxygen, again, in quick fashion, they've got the top 2 floors secured. They're happy there's nobody there. They're starting work on the hatches. Now if we can see that pressure from multiple sides, they could have some joy here again.
Hope's definitely here for the utility support, so as you're saying, wanting to keep himself alive in this scenario. Kino as well, playing the soft breach role right now alongside Vertical, as he's helping out to clear things around the kitchen hatch and hopefully get OXG the angles they need to force the Chiefs out of their own aggressive positions and away from stopping them from opening the hatch. Nitros are still going to be boiling up from time to time, however, as we see Vertical losing about half of his HP. Better than the last attempt, though, where he lost his entire life. Yogg as well, looking down through those vertical angles, will actually catch an aggressive Worthy, trying to peek through it, giving OXG the first kill of the round and setting them up for success later once again by enabling and check them out of aggression when they're ready to actually move down into the basement.
Still one Nitro remaining on the side of the Chiefs, with Digital has it in hand, but he's just struggling to get underneath Kitchen at the minute because of the vertical angles that have been opened up, so he's being cautious of that, and it is well played so far from Oxygen. Just looking now, Yogga, to see if he can get an angle in behind boxes. He's not going to get any joy for the time being, but you can see it's almost like they're standing on a hot plate in Kitchen Blue. They don't want to stand still, they've got to keep moving because they know that there is potentially still a Nitro out there, so it's all about that movement game now. Vertical sends in the nade. It's going to get caught out by the first of those Wamai magnets. We're going to have Hopes doing some work to try and open up this church wall as well. And I like what I see from Oxygen.
Yeah, right now looking very, very good on these basement attacks, and we'll have to build up towards more at the end of it. God Legion not noticed on the inside of Blue. He's able to trade out against the initial success from Kino and Yogg. Yogg's success at least allows him to get into the site and make a plant attempt, but a Toxic Babe will send him back, and now into a down state as he's taken out via bullets. Laxing, though, trades that back out, but the Toxic Babe finishes off Yogg. God Legion still holding for the inside of Blue as well. Vertical's left off on an island here, and he's got no way to play it. A rebound from the Chiefs in the dying moments of the round yet again gives them a 5-1 scoreline at halftime.
We've seen that a couple of times from the Chiefs now. They're certainly not scared when they get towards the end of rounds. You know, even in tough situations like that, they will just bunker down and they'll close it out, and that's pretty impressive from them. And Oxygen, again, just trying to brute force the way in there. But again, we see the importance of that blue position. God Legion able to find that kill because of where he's being challenged from on the rotation, and there'd just been no attention paid to it from Oxygen that time around. They'd chosen instead to go with main stairs and kitchen hatch, which is absolutely nothing wrong with. But if you're then going to try and sort of brute force into Church at the end of the round, it's probably going to be a struggle, which it was. Heading into round 7 then, it's going to be down to Church and Arsenal for the first defense of Oxygen. They're going straight down to the basement now then. Hope's bringing along the castle, so we will see exactly how this defense shapes up. We've got the mute, we don't have a Mozzie, but we do have a Vigil on Yogg, so I would expect to see some top floor roaming going on from Oxygen here. They're going to fan out, and they're going to basically show us the secondary option to what Chiefs did. Chiefs turtled up, they played all 5 on site. Oxygen, they're going to try and burn a lot of time here by getting themselves out in the map.
The castle going to help out with this by opening up safer rotation options for the players upstairs to work their way back down to the basement should it be necessary here. The first one, as you can see, going down to block off access from the billiards room, as well as strip side over towards the bar, as well as a second one here also to block off the stock side of access to bar. What this allows them to do is pop open the hatches for Logi as well as Moto. Those are 2 hatches that are pretty much going to be guaranteed to be open, as well as you can see here on the inside, and that provides 2 different rotation paths for the roaming team upstairs to fall back down to the bottom of the site.
Yogg just looking to get a little bit cheeky here, I think. He's just waiting next to that mezzanine window, takes his shots and dips away. This is all about sort of shadow games, really. It's just about creating that illusion that he's everywhere. He's all over the top floor. He's peeking out of this window. His signal is being picked up over in garage. He's, you know, just trying to create a little bit of a nightmare here for the Chiefs to waste their time, to get them in there, just chasing him around and burning up as much as possible. As I said, Oxygen were going in. They were having sort of 2 minutes to try and prep that execute onto site to open up what they needed. What they want to do here is just burn it down to about 40-45 seconds until Chiefs are doing that realistically.
Worthy going to run into some initial issues there, trying to clear things out, specifically over towards the Jacuzzi balcony side, as he'll be unfortunately muted quite a bit, both in terms of his ability to breach out the wall and his ability to drone in. This is because Laxing is right nearby as he's holding that gym hatch rotation here with pretty much all of his jammers deployed in this area. Ethan's going to be able to spot his exact position, however, from that range spot, so Laxing will fall back down the hatch. Chiefs have been well aware of this. They know exactly where, again, he's going to be roaming, but other players still remain a mystery, such as Yaga. And you can see here, Fisho Guy still seeing those little lines, means he's going around looking for him at the moment, but unfortunately is adventuring on the wrong floor, so we'll take him a considerable amount of increased time to try and figure out the exact position of Yogg.
That's it, and you know, that's the way that Vigil's gadget works. It's just a big sphere, basically, so it can be below you, it can be above you, it could be in the next room, it could be right in your face, Blue, and you're not going to see him on the drones, and that is exactly what Yogg needs to do here. Vigil doesn't bring any other utility with him. He is all about wasting time and finding kills. And right now, Yogg is doing at least one half of that fantastically well. If he can get in there and get a kill or 2 as well, absolutely perfect round from the Vigil. However, the first kill comes in, and it is going to be the Chiefs finding it onto vertical there and giving themselves the man advantage. That's the Malusi gone. But Yogg, what did I say? He gets in and he gets his kill and gets himself back to site. Great round from Yogg so far.
The inability for the Chiefs to lock down his exact position allows him to go free and pick that one up. Laxing is going to, of course, have an explosive drone right in his face, forcing him out of position and into the crosshairs of Worthy, who takes him down, pushing out into strip there. Finally, a change-up in the round for the members of the Chiefs as they take out another member of OXG and finally take control over the man count here as things go down to a 4v3. Only 25 seconds remain, though, so Chiefs still have to find some way to descend into the basement here and attack the site with virtually no time to investigate the setup. OXG will have full freedom to shut these players players down, and you can immediately see it. 2 going down to both, Yogg and Kino, and they very quickly finish up the remainders afterwards as well. The Chiefs just spending far too much time trying to clear out that extended game and never even had a chance to even drone down through the basement.
Beginning of the round, I said Yogg on the Vigil, he needs to be burning them down to about 45, 40 seconds to go. He actually hit his kill at exactly that mark as well as he got, I think it was God Legion as he dropped down, and it was just perfectly played from the Vigil. Of course, Laxing was supporting him there on the roam. I'm not sure how he sort of ended up stranded out in strip on his own. He's always going to get shut down from there, but
Laxing.
At that point, it's Laxing things. He just, you know, it's Laxing doing Laxing things, but at that point in time, it's not the end of the world because they've done what they needed to do. If you lose one man on that roam and burn 2 minutes 15, you'll take that all day long. And that's why, because then you've got a team pushing into site with 20 seconds left to go, reinforcements not opened up, and you're just playing into the defender's hands. Well played from Oxygen. Good first defensive round. Might just settle them down a little bit, get them into the game. They're going to be going up to CCTV and Cash this time around. We'll see what the Chiefs did. I gave a little bit of a breakdown of the 2 options for attacking this in the first round, so we'll see. Do they come in from the Master and Construction side, or are they going to go more default and try and get that Garage and East side control?
Interesting operator composition coming out from OXG in this round as well. We are going to see both a Thunderbird and a Doc, so big emphasis on healing capabilities coming into this one, especially for Vertical, because more than likely those stim shots are going to be used on him personally, as he'll just be kind of hiding out in this position throughout the majority of the round, just kind of keeping the nerves up there with the QE spam. But either way, we'll maintain this position, and of course, as you guys saw a couple seconds prior to that, one of the Kona stations also is going to be supporting him from the corner if he needs to fall back and get a quick boost of health through that method.
Vertical, as you say, will hold on to that angle for as long as possible, and I think there's a good chance that he possibly will be challenged here. There's 3 over on the east side at the minute, but it looks like Chiefs are going for a split push. They're going to send a couple in through logistics and master bedroom side, and they're going to work on this breach as well. God Legion just being cautious there, watching out for the potential run out. Worthy making quick work with Fisher Guy in tow of that mute jammer. That's going to give the east breach. The Selma device will be successful. However, we get some explosives thrown out, and that is going to mean that it's not a usable breach at this point in time. It's going to take another Selma detonation if they want to make it passable. Now, for the time being, I'm not sure where Ace has actually gone. I don't think he's currently on that east breach, so it may be that he has to rotate back if he wants to do so. Worthy is indeed moving over to that construction side, and they want to make sure that they've got the Selma charges for this wall from construction to Cash, so they don't want to start burning them on that east wall. It could well come back to bite them, though.
I think the angle's a little too high for this, but it could be a possibility that they only wanted to use the single Selma because they may not want the actual physical access through that, but they may just want to be able to potentially have sightlines through a rappel to shoot it in a post-plant scenario. That may be the goal of only using one Selma, but we'll see what the potential strategy is going to be around that once these members of Chiefs get closer to and execute. Return drone still being used quite heavily as well to deal with the on-site utility, specifically surrounding the security room more than anything, so that will be quite obviously the emphasis here for the members of the Chiefs as they move in, but still, another wrinkle yet to be dealt with here, and that the Doc, played by Vertical, still maintains a very strong position with stims as well, so he's got a huge excess amount of health right now.
You're exactly right there.
Vertical's like playing Quake right now.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, Vertical's position is so powerful because even if, you know, you could look at it and say, well, they're not pushing East Breach. Does it matter? It does matter. Because of those holes that he's got opened up next to him, it can then challenge onto construction wall if they try to plant inside of there. So that garage location still needs to be think about. I remember a round where Nesk completely deleted 3 people trying to come into construction from that very position. So believe me, Vertical could be in a real power spot here as the round goes on.
Huge amount of booned health being given over towards Vertical there once again. There is really just continuing to stim himself up. 30 seconds left in the round as well. Vertical perfectly played from that position. Picks up a double. Yogg rotates in. Hopes as well tries to assist, but he's going to fail this time as Worthy takes him out. But still the attacking presence from Chiefs is all but fully faltered here. Someone's going to have to go and pick up the case as well, as that's been down in the corner. But with only 15 seconds left, Worthy will move forward. Yeah, he'll get a little bit of a boost from the Kona station. God Legion as well with a very important kill against Laxing, but time is low. The same problem on the last attack for God Legion. That doesn't seem to matter though. Yogg's the only one standing, and he gets run over by God Legion as well. What a round from this player on the Chiefs as they continue to push ever forward towards victory.
I really thought Oxygen were going to have that one in the bag. Vertical coming up huge at the beginning of the round there. We'd spoken about that power position, and 5 seconds later, he comes in with a big double, and you think, right, Oxygen, that is the boost that you need into this round. But somehow, the Chiefs, they just don't know when they're beaten, Blue. They just keep pushing in, and God Legion able to find himself a couple of big kills. I really thought Kino was going to come in clutch there as well. I didn't think they knew that he was just hiding in the corner, but yes, he was aware, prepared, and got the kill. Well played from Chiefs, not scared to rotate, not scared to think on their feet and problem solve there, which is what I like to see. They tried to go in and deal with Vertical, they lost 2 men doing it, so all of a sudden, right, we've got to do things differently, and we've got 10 seconds to figure that out. Well played from Chiefs.
Specifically well played from God Legion there, making all those frags happen, taking out some of the most impactful players that we've seen so far in this game on Oxygen, such as Yogg, as well as Laxing. Laxing specifically has been the shining star of Oxygen so far at this tournament, usually alongside Vertical, but I'll be honest, aside from that previous round, Vertical has had a rough go of things so far. Starting to turn it around, though, with that great performance on the dock. Of course, boosted up to a tremendous degree by his own abilities, as well as the Kona stations, but got the job done anyway with that great amount of aggression. Now he's back on a mainstay, though, over towards the Jaeger this time to try and bring a little bit more of the traditional aggression, still from this very same position, it would seem. However, he's going to set up the ADSs to support him this time.
Exactly that. I think, you know, it is one of those positions, if you don't have those ADSs, if you don't have that utility, can be a little bit of a nightmare to try and hold on to. It's not something that I think we really saw Chiefs, you know, sort of play into too much. This time, they've got 4 nades on side. They've got the Sledge, they've got the Maverick. So if they start really reining in that utility onto the Catwalk, and I'm sure there's going to be a focus onto Catwalk here, because they got hurt from it last time around, and usually that's the biggest motivation to going in and trying to clear a location out. So I think, yes, Vertical will come under more pressure this time, and we'll see whether Chiefs can get that Catwalk cleared out. It looks like they're going this time for that more east-sided push. They've got themselves the full access through that east wall last time. As you said, Bully, last time it was sort of a peak hole that was opened up. It was a little bit high, a little bit difficult to use. Anybody crouched is going to be staying underneath the level that they had. So this time they've gone for full visibility.
All right, so Chiefs will be able to pop that one open, having no problems with that access towards the site. Official guy as well, actually some very well-timed spam, but it's going to be Ethan that finds the opening kills. Laxing tries to get aggressive from one of the bedroom and gym windows and pays the ultimate price for it, going down here, and now giving Chiefs the 5v4 advantage on match point.
Ethan just going to be getting those Rotero drones in. We saw exactly the same last time around. He'll try and move them in through that window, clear out the Maestro cam, and will be successful. It was a bulletproof last time around. Evil Eye this time, neither have been able to stop the Rotero drones from clearing them out, and we can see straight away there's another one going in as well. He doesn't even know what utility there is, Blue. He's looking for it, he can't find any. So instead, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up a rotation into that soft wall. Why has he done that? Because it makes it more difficult for the players playing inside of Cash. They don't have that blockage in the line of sight. They can now be picked up from East Breach a lot easier. Got to be more careful.
Chiefs getting very close to an execute point here. We are going to see the attempts made. Impact tricks are coming out, though, and I believe have been successful in both attempts that have been used to try and get this open. Unfortunately, the attackers have 1 additional Selma, and the defenders only have 2 of those impacts, so we're still going to see the hole get made. Worthy as well able to catch Yaga. What a peek from Kino, though, to trade it back onto Worthy. Unfortunately, has no capability to maintain presence on the inside of Cash, so has to very quickly fall back to red stairs, try to find a way to throw himself out again. What a play from Vertical, jumping out, but caught just as quickly by Fisho Guy as he shuts it down. Kino again, though, a race car peek to knock out Digital. He's left alone here, though, in the 1v2. Knows the push is coming in, and once again, it's God Legion to shut things down in the final moments of the round, giving the match over to the Chiefs as they take control, 7-2.
Well, the Chiefs, they get themselves their first win here at the 6 major in Sweden. They're going to be absolutely over the moon with that, and I know